Welcome folks, welcome back. Desperado Van Adventures back again with another video. Hope you're all keeping well. This time I'm up in Rufforth. It's close to York. It's a little village only a few miles away from York. And it's actually a playing fields. There's tennis courts, cricket pitch, and there's a couple of football pitches as well. So you can read that. If you want to pause, you can read that little card I put up there. Now this is looking over towards the main area. This is where the electricity pitches are, beside this brick building. Now that brick building has everything you need. It's got the showers. This is a rear view of it here, by the way. It's got showers and it's got water. There's a water tap on the wall, and there's a chemical disposal, toilet disposal to your left, just beside the hedge. It is a little hard to find, but it's there. This is the non-electric pitch. As you can see, quite a few vans there in a circle. They were all together, them guys. I think they were like a cycling club. And that's my van sitting the closest one to you there, old Desperado. In the distance there to the left, there's a gliding club, and I'll take you over there later in the video. This is looking down towards the camping area from the cricket pitch. And this is a sign the kids must have put up to tell you to lift your dog poos. You don't want any dog poos, especially on playing fields. And there's a weeping willow, I think it is, blowing in the wind. I thought that was a lovely sight. This is the kids' play park, a small play park. It's right beside the brick building. And this is a photograph I took when the sun was setting with the roller, which I thought made a lovely photograph. If you look out in the distance, you'll see an aeroplane coming into land. Well, that's the little aeroplane that pulls the gliders up into the sky. So I'm going to go over there and show you around there shortly. It might even be coming up now. Yes, this is the old RAF Rufforth airstrip. It does say on this here that it's private property, but there is like a footpath on the left hand side of the airstrip, and you can walk right up. So I took a walk up, and I was standing nosying, watching all the gliders and the little yellow plane, pulling them up into the sky. And these guys come over, very friendly guys, told me all about the gliding club, and they even asked me over to meet other members of the club. So thanks very much, lads, for allowing me to make the video and making me feel welcome. So this is as far as I walked up to, and as you can see, they're all busy preparing for their flights. Now that little yellow plane, obviously that's the one that tows the gliders up into the sky. So in a few minutes he's going to make his way up to the front of the gliders and attach a tow rope, and he's going to tow these gliders up into the sky. So this is the plane making its way up to the front of the gliders. Lovely little plane. So he'll go up here, and these guys with the gliders will be ready to hook on. Well, that's it, they're all ready to take off. This guy in the blue shirt, he'll run along with the glider a little bit, just to get the speed up and take a wee bit of strain off the towing aeroplane. So off they go. Now I'm just using the iPhone, and I zoomed in here, so the picture isn't a fantastic quality, but you can see it towing the glider up into the sky. Now obviously when he gets up there, there's some sort of device that they can disconnect the tow rope so that the glider can soar about in the sky on its own. There's another one, and there's a few more over there. So it was very interesting watching them. There's one of the gliders coming in. So as I said, they don't actually land on the concrete. They land on like a grassy field over to the right in the distance. Now there's another one being pushed up, ready for a flight. And that's the little yellow plane coming back down again to pick up the next one. So there he is coming into land. And that's him down. The other things that were flying about at night was bats, and I was able to get a few photographs of the bats. And bats look pretty big. Apparently they don't have very good eyesight, but who needs good eyesight in the darkness? But apparently they find their prey by sound. That squeaking noise you hear. Well, I can't hear it. In fact, as you get older, you can't hear bats squeaking. You'll hear them when you're a kid. But apparently, as you grow older, your hearing isn't as good. And you're unable to hear the high pitch that they make. So they are squeaking away up there, and us older folk can't hear them. Apparently they do that so that the sound reflects off buildings and insects that they eat. I'm no David Attenborough, but I remember watching a program on the television, and come to think of it, it might have been David Attenborough that was presenting it. So that's how I got to know about the squeaking bats. Right, back to earth, and us old desperado sitting there. It is good to stay in a camping site every now and again. You can get the tables out, and the chairs out, and sit in the sunshine. Right, went down into York for a few hours, and more or less the first thing we came upon was the castle, York Castle. So here's a little bit about it. York Castle is a fortified complex in the city of York, England. It consists of a sequence of castles, prisons, law courts and other buildings which were built over the last 9 centuries on the northwest side of the River Foss. The now ruined keep of the medieval Norman castle is commonly referred to as Clifford's Tower. built originally on the orders of William I to dominate the former Viking city of Jorvik. The castle suffered a tremendous early history before developing into a major fortification with extensive water defences. After a major explosion in 1684 rendered the remaining military defences uninhabitable, York Castle continued to be used as a jail and prison until 1929. Down into the town now for another nosy. This is the Shambles market. You can see in the distance. And there's a busker guy. This is him here. He's from Japan and he's travelling the world apparently, playing his banjo. So good on you, mate. I did think he was worth £1, so I threw £1 into the box. That's good. Well, as you can see, this is the entrance to the Shambles market. Now the Shambles is actually a medieval street and it features preserved medieval buildings, some dating back to as far as the 14th century. The street is narrow with many timber framed buildings with jettied floors that overhang the streets by several feet. It was once known as the Great Flesh Shambles, which actually meant flesh shelves, the word for the shelves that butchers used to display their meat. In 1885, 31 butcher shops were located along the street, but none remain today. So here's a photograph of the actual street, and you can see the overhanging floors of the buildings. Another big attraction in York is York Minster Cathedral, which I didn't get to visit. I have been there in the past, but I didn't get on this visit. The reason being, it was getting near tea time, so we're getting hungry and we were parked quite a bit away from the town centre. So we called into a bar quite close to the castle, got something to eat, and then made our way back to the van and back up to the stopover. Now I think if we were coming again, I would leave the van at the stopover and get the bus. There is a bus goes up and down to York, to the city. I think I would do that the next time because we did have a bit of a problem finding a place to park. Well, that's a little bit of York I showed you there. As I said, there's more. Any problems, just see these two guys here. They'll help you out, I'm sure. Right, if you go the other direction, up into the town of Rufforth, into the village, and keep going out that road, I think you've only one right turn and you'll come to a monument commemorating the Battle of Marston Moor, which was one of the bloodiest battles in the English Civil War. Over 4,000 soldiers lost their lives. So coming up, there's a couple of write-ups that was displayed right beside the monument. So you can pause the video and read more about it on the write-ups here coming up. Right, back down to the stopover again, and we're taking the little lane on the left. That's the stopover on the left. So we'll go down to the road and turn left, up next to the village of Rufforth. There's not a big lot in the village. In fact, I didn't even see a shop. I didn't see a pub. But I did go up through the town on a Sunday to go to the boot sale. Actually needed a bulb from a bicycle carrier that's on the back of the van, and I went up there to see if I could get a bulb. I asked in a lot of the stalls, but no one had a bulb, so I ended up buying a van, believe it or not. So I'll show you that at the end of the video. Now this is the village here. As you can see, it seems to be all houses, no shops or pubs or anything like that. But there is the boot sales out here on the right hand side. It's not far out the road. I have a few video clips of the actual boot sale. Now when I arrived at the entrance to the boot sale, there was cars queued up because you have to pay $1.50 to park. So that was for a car, so I just cycled past on the bike, and the guy, he called me back and he says, you have to pay £1 for the bike. I says right, so I paid my £1, and there was another bike parked behind the little hut that he was starting at. He was taking the money, so I said, could I park my bike here, because I want to walk around the boot sale obviously. He said no, he says you have to take it with you. So I thought that was a bit mean, you know, paying £1. I didn't mind paying £1 to get in, but I thought at least I could have chained it up, my bicycle up somewhere, so it was free to walk around the boot sale, because there was a lot of people there, and trying to get close to the stalls to have a look at things was difficult because I was holding the bicycle. But anyway, I went there, and as I say, I bought a van. I bought a hose attachment, and I bought a little set of pliers. There's about 6 or 8 different types of pliers. So handy wee set to have to carry in the van with me. So this is just a few. Now there's a man there, look, he's got a Red Bull on his head. The daughter must be keeping him going. There must be some sort of a joke behind it. So I actually thought it was funny. They say Red Bull has got wings, so he'll have to watch he doesn't take off. So had a good, it was a lovely day. The sun was splitting the trees. So this is where I bought the van. So I'm giving you too many clues here. Well, I'll take you out of your misery. The actual van I bought was a model van, a little dinky toy. But the reason I bought it was a Morris Minor van, and I used to drive a Morris Minor. I actually done my test. It was the first car I drove in the early 70s, and I done my test in it and passed. So I have a lot of memories from driving the Morris Minors. I think I sold it and then I bought another one. I think I had about 3 Morris Minors way back, as I said, in the early 70s. So I have a couple of photographs coming up here of it. That's me actually holding it there at the boot sale. I actually didn't realise the camera that I have in the handlebars was turned on. So better pictures of the van coming up here now. That's the one I bought at the boot sale. A little gas fan. I'm not sure what that other emblem is on the door. So happy enough with it. £1 well spent, as a man says. And this is another one I bought a few years back. It's a Morris Minor saloon. I think I got this one in a boot sale as well, but it might have been in a charity shop. Right, well that's it folks, that's the end of the video. Another video done and dusted. And I hope sometime you'll get to stay in Rufforth playing fields. Good wee camping site for £11. I definitely will go back again. So thanks for watching, and if you liked the video I would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, because it really does help the rating on the video on YouTube. And if you want, you can subscribe, it's free. Right, see you in the next one. Bye for now.